This week I'm going to be talking about a really cool piece of firmware called Magic Lantern and what it can do to improve your camera. Hello, my name is Cade, and this is DSLRguide. So today I'm basically just going to be going over the features and extended settings that you get from using Magic Lantern and talking generally about what I think of it. So Magic Lantern is a third-party piece of firmware which gets installed on each SD card that you use, and it basically adds a bunch of features to your camera and allows you to have more flexibility over your settings. So for instance, out of the long list of features that it has, the ones I use are the focus peaking, which works pretty great provided you use the right kind of settings. Now I'll put mine up on the screen, and these are basically the kind of tweaking settings that you can use within the focus peaking setting. And the focus peaking is great. It allows you to, it basically just helps you to see what's in focus with a kind of traditional video camera style. And because it's even with a viewfinder, it's quite hard to see what's in focus often on the small screens. The other feature I use is the metadata kind of feature, which basically saves an extra text file with your camera settings with each file that you record. So right next to your MVI 2043 or whatever it be will be a file named MVI 2043, but it'll be a text file, and it will just say what aperture you're at, what shutter speed, and all the kind of details. I think it even updates as you, if you change the settings during the filming, I think it will note that down as well, which is pretty cool. And these files don't take up any space, but they just allow you to kind of see exactly how you're shooting for each shot. And the final feature, which I sometimes use, is the crop marks. Now this is pretty cool. It basically allows you to use a PNG overlay to simulate the crop marks that you put over the video if you're going to be doing that in post. So for instance, for episodes like this, kind of most projects I don't use the widescreen bars, but for my short film I will be, so it's great to be able to see what it's going to look like at the end and get your framing right. Now the other thing that Magic Lantern allows you to do is to have more control over the settings of your camera. So for me the biggest one is the expanded ISOs. So normally on my camera, with it being 600D, it has ISO 100, 200, 400, 800, 1600 and plus, whereas with this it allows me to shoot at 160, 320, 640 and 1250, which basically are the native ISOs, so they're supposed to be cleaner. They produce better images than some of the ones that are actually lower than them. So 640 may actually look better than 400, but it kind of varies from each camera, so it's worth testing them out for yourself and seeing how it performs. One of the other cool features is that it allows you to shoot at 1/48th of a second, which is closer to the 180-degree rule than 1/50th of a second. And I don't know if this is really that noticeable. I suppose it's a little bit brighter, but in terms of the motion blur and stuff, you probably won't notice a difference, but I suppose it's a little bit better. And the other cool thing is the white balance. You have more control of the white balance. So rather than just having an option for manual white balance and then the presets as well as auto, you now get all those features plus being able to dial in Kelvin what you want your white balance to be. So for instance, right now I'm shooting at 5600K because that's what my light, my key light is set at. So that's a really useful feature for kind of fine tuning it. You can kind of just go bluer, cooler or warmer depending on each shot, if you're not sure about how to get it, because white balance is really important that you get it right. It's quite hard to correct for a shot that's far too warm, for example. I often have that problem. So yeah, that's basically a summary of the features that I use. There's a big long list of more features, but for me those are the ones that I find myself using most. So I would encourage you to check out Magic Lantern if you haven't already, but do bear in mind that there is a risk. It's not fully backed by Canon, it's third party, so look into it yourself and decide whether you want to risk putting your camera on it. Obviously I haven't had any problems, and it's known to be pretty stable. It's been around for a while now. And the other cool thing is Magic Lantern they're really innovating with their raw video work that they've been doing with the 5D, and they're getting some amazing images from the sensor. And while the 600D may not have fast enough processor, or the cards aren't good enough or something like that, it's definitely something to kind of keep tabs on, looking out for which cameras can do the raw video, because when that becomes stable, that's going to be a really amazing feature. The 5D is comparable to an Epic scaled down to 1080p. It really is quite a great feature. So yeah, I encourage you to check out Magic Lantern, check out some of the raw stuff because it's really cool. And yeah, basically, Magic Lantern. I'll see you next week.